All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in NorCal Sports Network. Little Wednesday night, February 26th, just a month away from the season opener on the 27th of March. And we're going to be talking some Giants tonight, more specifically about Bryce Eldridge. And should the Giants consider ever trading him for an established star? Before we get into that, let us thank our sponsor of this show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in Olive, California. Give Chapman Law Group a call at 415-613-9483. Chapman Law Group for all your legal needs. Maybe you got a personal injury situation and you need to check it out. Give Chapman Law Group a call and let them help you. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, everybody. Way to go. Here we go. All right. And let's get the Chapman Law Group sign down there. Welcome, Lou. How's it going? What kind of hat? Lou in a hat. I got to put my glasses on. I can see that. Wait a minute. It's a visor.
Guy.
It's a visor.
I wear a lot of visors. A little U of A visor.
Oh, it's a U of A. It's a U of A visor.
Of course.
Okay.
Bear down.
Well, you got the hair up on top to protect you.
Yeah, I know that. I got to get a haircut, and my girl keeps taking off, and it's sort of pissing me off. No more tips. You know, when I need a haircut, they got to be there. I mean, do you know how that is with you, Dan? You don't have to worry about that so much.
Yeah. Mark Graves says, Lou, is that a Romo shirt?
Very good, Mark. You know what? It was so funny. I told Dan, and I go, I wonder if anybody in the chat is going to be able to get this. Of course, from the parade. He wore it, and as soon as I saw it, I Googled it, and it came from a company in Tijuana. But you know what? I wear it a lot, and people go, what is a goddamn gringo or a white guy wearing that? And, you know, being a Giants fan, I got to support it. And then the one time I ran into Sergio, I had it, and he asked me if he wanted to sign it, you know, with the silver pen. I said, no, that's all right. I'll just take your autograph or a photo.
All right.
But, yeah, very good, Mark. Very good. Good eye. Good eye.
Good eye. There we go. All right. So we've got some people already discussing things in the chat about Bryce Eldridge. Is he untouchable? Is he untouchable is the question. Aaron says nobody is untouchable, especially a minor leaguer, no matter the potential ceiling. If Willie Mays can be traded, anyone can be. But Senior says Willie was almost 50. That's true. He was pretty close to 40, I think. Senior, let's see. What else do we got here on the trade? I see I'm only trading him if you get a deal like the Mookie deal, a team that needs to dump salary, or I'll take Bobby Witt Jr. straight up. Yeah, I would too. So that's the thing we have to look at. Now, I would think a team that would maybe trade a Bryce Eldridge would be somebody like, of course, I would say Mike Trout would be a guy that the Angels would consider. I wouldn't do that deal if I'm the Giants, not at this point. But who's a guy that is an all-star that's established, but he's not old beyond his prime, but he's not also 25 anymore. So I would think a team, let's say, how about this? Let's say the Phillies wanted to start a rebuild and they offered Bryce Harper. Would you
Can
trade?
I say something, Dan, about this topic and everybody in the chat? Are you guys absolutely all nuts? Are you guys that much homers that you're worried about trading a guy that hasn't played one day in the majors? What the hell is wrong with all you people? We've never seen him pitch one bat one time in the majors. This guy has a ceiling bigger than Buster. Even Buster didn't come out like gangbusters. Okay. Yeah. If somebody offered us 2 players, a pitcher and a hitter, I'd get rid of them right now. We've seen this before. We went over the Giants' first round picks. We've all thought Bart was the next guy. He wasn't. These are the San Francisco Giants who haven't gotten a guy in over 10 years up to the majors of a guy that we've heard about. If you got a chance, you take it. You get as much as you can for him right now, because you know what? Knowing the Giants and our great coaches, he'll have a hamstring problem, which it seems like every year Yaz has 4. Something will happen wrong. We've been told this guy can hit, but we're not sure about his defense. So what, guys, if somebody's dumb enough to offer him 2 players for a guy that hasn't batted one time, who do you guys think this guy is? Roy Hobbs? 25 years, Roy Hobbs, who played in the Urubu League or whatever. Come on. Let me tell you something, guys. He has to prove it. Okay. We've seen this. Our starting second baseman that we think, nobody heard of him last year. He came up, had a great probably month of the season. He had like eight home runs, but then he came back to earth. You got to remember, baseball is about adapting. And the last thing, and I'll let you get back to you, Dan, is the Giants are so far down right now. They can't even hold the Dodgers jock. They're looking up at Arizona. If San Diego can take care of all their stuff, when he's an all-star every year, how do you think he's going to be an all-star every year? You're just like the Warriors and the Niner fans. You guys live in the past. How about stick with reality? If the Giants were smart and they're 500 and they're having another horrible season, which I know they're going to do because I've already betting them under and I'm probably going to do it again. The Giants, what they should do, they trade Eldridge and Webb and start over. We still 3 years behind. That's the only way we're going to catch up to these other teams. Last year, if you guys remember, one of the best pitchers in the league got traded. Why? Because they knew he wasn't going to make a difference, and they got 3 studs. You guys got to think of the future. That's why the Dodgers are so much better. The Giants fans are, this guy's going to be like Will Clark. No one's compared him to Will Clark. You compared this guy like he's Willie Mays, and the guy can't play defense. Willie was so good because his defense was even better than his offense. So let's everybody just chill for a second. And if some other team was dumb enough to offer the Giants 2 or 3 players, and it would make our team better. Remember, the guy's still not on the major league team. We're not even sure yet. You got to do it. And you got to remember, he doesn't cost anything. If this guy's so good in 3 or 4 years, the Giants will be dumb enough, and then we're going to have to pay him so much. All right, Dan.
So why would you trade Eldridge if you're rebuilding as the Giants?
No, we were saying if we can trade him and we can get probably 2 or 3 studs in return. Right now,
I don't think you can get 2 or 3 studs. I think he's going to have to tear up the minor leagues to really his value to increase even more. But I just want to talk about who is the type of player that you would trade for. Would you trade for Fernando Tatis and his salary? That's
a problem too, because it's almost like too late. You know what I mean? You could have got Tatis when he had the problems and he wasn't signed for a big contract. I'm trying to think in the majors of who else would be there. I would tell you right now, here I got a question. You have a chance to make a trade with Cincinnati.
Like
right now, their stud, who's going to be a free agent.
Oh, they're not going to trade.
I'm just bringing this up. Is Eldridge even in his league?
No, not right now, but he could be. He could surpass him because of the power.
Yeah, but defense concerns me. I'm just saying, there's other guys that are established, and I thought this topic was people think Eldridge is untouchable. Nobody's untouchable. I mean, Dan tried to offer me to Larry Krueger in a 3-way deal, and Dan stood up for me. He goes, "Nope, I need more for Lou. I need more. I believe in him." And I think so many times, we're just so homegrown because we want our homegrown Giants players that we draft to be successful. But recently, the Giants haven't been successful. You guys got to remember last year, if it wasn't for a major injury, Ramos wouldn't have been up, and, they tried to hold him down. So I'm just trying to bring up a few facts. Yeah, people talk about Mookie got traded, but he was already in the major leagues 4 years and he was going to be a free agent. That's why they traded him. They couldn't pay him. Eldridge hasn't done anything yet. He hasn't done one thing in the majors. So, guys, everyone just relax. I want you guys, if he comes up and he has a great establishment, or even if he doesn't have a great establishment, I want you guys still say, oh, my God, the guy's untouchable. We're just putting a lot of pressure. It's almost like a guy that plays great in college, in college basketball. When he goes to the NBA, it's such a different level. The other thing, too, guys, I'm going to bring up, did anybody see what happened to Eldridge yesterday? I know Dan did, because we talked about it. Did anybody see what happened? He was up twice, struck out on 3 pitches. 3 pitches.
Each time, yeah. Each time. 6 pitches. Yeah.
6 pitches, he was done. So, guys, and again, this was actually against a major leaguer that actually is going to be in the majors, unlike where he hit a homer the other day, Titanic tank, in the 9th inning against a guy whose only big thrill, he pitches for the Italian League in the World Baseball Classic. So everyone's just got to chill. All right, go ahead, Dan, please.
All right. Here's a hypothetical. I'm just throwing out
Sorry, I'm excited about this topic, Dan.
Yeah, let's just throw out a wild and crazy type of trade here. Let's say you got let me put, I need to put one more player in here. All right, let's do this. Hold on here. Dude, and let's say the Guardians want to go a little younger, and they want to get let's say let's try this. Well, hold on. There we go. All right. Are we matched pretty good? Yeah, we're pretty close. All right. Let's say the Guardians say, you know what? We're looking to rebuild this thing. We want to keep it going. And they brought to you this trade. Would you, how many people in the chat? How many people in the chat would do that?
I can't see who's below Eldridge. Is it McRae and then?
Yeah, McRae and Wisenhunt. Okay, there you go. A little bit. Now you can see it, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. That's a no-brainer in my mind.
And that's 78.10, and then the value for Ramirez, 79. Who in the chat says no? Are you?
That's a great one, Dan, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's see, the reason is, I don't know if you make that trade. I'm not sure. How old is Jose Ramirez? Isn't he like 32?
I don't know if he's that old, and he only makes 14
I got him right
million.
here.
He gave him a discount.
Jose Ramirez is 32 and will be 33 at the end of the year. Do you make that trade? I don't know if you do or not.
I think he's a changer.
Yeah, but is he going to be ready for when the Giants are ready? See, this is the type of thing I want to talk about and discuss, because this is the type of thing, an established star, one of the top, probably, Jose Ramirez is going to go top 5 in fantasy baseball, right?
Oh yeah, and he only makes $14 million a year,
right?
$14 million. He took a discount, not like Chapman, $26 million, $14 million. And what that does is that also gives you more money to sign other players.
Right. I think too old though, Lou. I think maybe too old here.
All right.
Let
me ask you this: between Ramirez, and then our shortstop and third baseman, who's better?
Oh, Ramirez is better than all these. Anybody, he would be the best player on our team.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 player in the game. The guy stole like 40 bases last year, hit like 30. What did he hit? Like 39 last year. His stats. Yeah. He hit 279, had 114 runs scored, 39 homers, here's his line here. He had an OPS of where are we at here? OPS 872. OPS plus 143, 279, 41 stolen bases, 118 RBIs, 39 homers. I mean, this guy is, but he's only got a few years left. So I don't think I would do it, Lou.
Well, you've been talking the Giants need a face. I'm not saying Eldridge is a face. I don't think Webb's a face. But you have a great player who could be the face of your franchise, which something we really haven't had. You know, there's a lot of pros and cons on this. I could see 32, but I mean, he doesn't play like he's 32. I thought he was like maybe 29 or 30, but he is 32.
That makes it, to me, that is that's the killer. Now, I'm going to come up with another deal here for you, and let's play with this one. All right, so we've got Eldridge going here, and we've got, see, this one, a little rough. I think it... this one's rough. All right. We're going to have to we're going to play with this, see if we can make it work. All right. Close enough. Are you guys making this trade? Tell me, are you making this trade? Fernando Tatis, 135, the surplus. For Eldridge, Harrison, and Fitzgerald, 119, call it 120. What do you guys say to that one? Now, when you look at Fernando Tatis, he's only like 26, I believe. Let's see. Fernando is 25. No, 26. I take it back. 26, January 2nd. So who's making this trade? Kyle McKiernan says, I do that. Rob C says yes.
Dan, my only question is, can Tatis be the solo guy? You know what I mean? Like Ramirez has done it with Cleveland, right?
Stephen
He's
Leonard
done it before where he's the main guy.
Stephen Leonard
I'm
says,
just a little concerned.
This guy's unsubscribing because he's listening to drunks at a bar who know nothing about baseball. This is called, Stephen, this is called conversation. Conversation. And, but go ahead. Whatever you need to do.
Bye, Steve.
We won't hold our breath.
Yeah, you know, the one thing about Tatis is he does have a much bigger contract. I think he's probably close to 30 a year. And can he, having no support, you know, he's been on a team where he has Machado, he has some other bats. You know, that's the problem. Can he do everything he does with no support? You know, that's the one problem with the Giants. I know he's younger, but you know, he's also double the money.
Kyle, I think Tatis still has like 10 years left to go on this deal. Yeah. Something like that. You've got a proven star for 3 unproven players.
But Dan, the other problem. Oh, sorry.
With potential.
The other problem is then they'd have to get rid of Yaz because he plays right field, and the Giants and the organization love Yaz. I mean, would they be able to like get rid of Yaz? You know, I mean, he doesn't want to play shortstop anymore. He likes being the outfield. He likes being in right.
So this is the type of thing that you have to think about, because what I'm really doing here, guys, is just getting an exercise in thinking how much
we can improve the team,
and how much does everybody value Eldridge? Is he untouchable? Is he the guy that's going to hit 40 plus homers a year starting in a year or two? Is he that type of kid? And he's only 20. And I mean, there's a lot of people that Jim Callis is a guy that is a evaluator, talent evaluator, says he has 40 plus home run power. And, the Giants haven't had anything close to that. And if he's only 20, you figure you're going to have him for 12 prime years. If he makes it next year at age 21, would I trade Eldridge for Jackson Holiday? That is a great question, man.
You've been a big fan of him.
Let me look at I almost, man, that's a tough one. I like that thinking, because when you consider doing something like that, let's just take a look at this.
I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he knocked himself out.
There we are.
There we go. Welcome back. Everyone missed you.
Thank you. Let me go back to this. All right. So, oops, I messed up.
And Dan, while you're doing this, can you remember somebody having this much hype in the last 20 years for the Giants?
It almost seems more hype than Buster, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of out of control. And the problem is the hype is real, but then you also hear all these problems, like he's not polished. When you watch Eldridge, he wants to play the outfield. We're putting him at first base. First base is a lot different than the outfield. And it's just different. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen anyone have so much hype. And you know how all these hypes, everything that's hyped, somehow it's always a letdown just because we hype it too much. But I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's bigger than Buster. And Buster was a Golden Spike Award winner. Buster his senior year actually played every single position for Florida State. The Giants only got him because he didn't go first, second, or third because they didn't think they could sign him. And the Giants actually spent money for the first time to get Buster, and it proved out.
This has changed over time. Jackson Holiday's value has come down, and Bryce Eldridge has gone up. Holiday's value was over 100 last year. Look at it now, down to 53, and Bryce Eldridge 61.9. So I was actually thinking about this before I even saw the numbers. I don't think I would do it, just simply because the power that is there. Now, if the Giants didn't have Willie Adames at short, I might consider it, because I think if you can lock down a shortstop for 10 to 15 years, 10 to 12 years, now you're cooking. But yeah, Buster had a ton of hype. I agree, Senior. He had a lot of hype. Was the hype as much as this? I just don't remember it. I was living back I was here in Arizona. Yeah. I just don't remember as much of I think Buster, there was a lot of hype in the sense that I'm pretty sure everybody thought he was a can't miss. Eldridge, this dog. Bo got into a whole tub of butter the other night, man.
Yeah, remember, he's still with you, huh? Oh, Friday's the deadline.
Or Monday. I don't know. The guy, the smell, the stench is coming out of his rear end.
Both ways.
Is bad, man. Is bad. That's just man, it can shut down this network, I'm telling you. So there's an idea. Now, let's take a look at another potential trade, shall we? Let's look at, give me a player that sounds like, an all-star player that's 20-ish. Let's change this team to who's got somebody.
What about like the Braves?
What do they have?
They got the MVP coming back. And
Acuna?
he's only Acuna, someone like, I'm trying to think who else they have. They're good still. Atlanta's going to be good.
I don't think how about I need a star. I'm looking Pirates. Royals, Twins. Luis Robert wouldn't do. It's got to be somebody like let me see. All right. Here's a guy. Let's see. Here's a guy. Oops. Let's wait a minute. How did I go? Bryce Eldridge to the Diamondbacks. Wait a minute. What the heck did I do here? Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Let's do this. Diamondbacks, Bryce Eldridge. Hold on. What the heck is my... Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm screwing the whole thing up.
Tampa Bay, no. Red Sox, no. Baltimore, no. Minnesota, Tigers.
All
right. We got to give up something else.
And the problem is a lot of these guys, there's not really that many 32-year-old superstars except, like Bryce, Machado.
All right. Let's do Wizenhunt and come on. Wizenhunt, Diamondbacks and Fitzgerald. Where's Fitzgerald? Okay. No, we don't even need to do we don't need to do Wizenhunt. All right. There's a deal. Would you do that deal? How old is Ketel Marte? He's probably close to 30, 31 is my guess. Right?
He is 31, but remember he's from the Dominican Republic, so really he's probably 36. That's how you always say that.
Yeah.
He's let's see his stats from last year. He got drafted 15. God,
Okay.
Look at his stats. Look at his stats the last 2 years. 61 homers, 177 RBIs. Giants need 4 guys to come up with that. His stats last year were 36 homers, 95 RBIs.
Yeah.
He hit 292. OPS of 372. Slugging percentage of 560. Now, remember, he plays in a place where the ball does travel a little bit better, but still.
Yeah.
And then
Shota Imanaga, Aaron. That's who Casey's home run was off today. So, it's just kind of food for thought.
You bring up a good thing. Marte, when he's healthy, is probably one of the top 10 players in the National League. So, it's one of those things. To get somebody of that caliber, you got to give up. You got to give up something. And I think you bring up a great point. Guys that are not proven. They're in the hype, but they're just not proven. We've been hearing about Wizenhunt for what, 4 years?
Something like that. I'll be there tomorrow, boy. It's your boy, OG. I will be at the Giants Mariners game tomorrow. Should have some reports for you on that.
Nice.
Mid-80 degree weather today. It's been hot here this week. Running the air conditioner at home now already in February while some of the country's trying to thaw out.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to hit 70 tomorrow. I mean, we're all excited. Short weather.
Wow. So I wouldn't do Marte because, again, a little too high age-wise. I would do the Tatis deal, though. 26.
Yeah, but I think doesn't one make like 35 and Marte makes like 22? You know, sometimes money matters on these things.
Well, that's also what you may be able to, why you might be able to get a Tatis if San Diego says
they'll pay half like the Giants always do.
Well, yeah. No, I think if they want to get rid of the salary, if you know they're going through an ownership possible change and all kinds of stuff, let's say they say, hey, you know what? We'll take this potential superstar for a superstar right now.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So the question is Bryce Eldridge untouchable? And I think you have to say, no, he's not, but it has to be the really perfect situation. I'm not doing it for Jose Ramirez, even though I would love Jose Ramirez. But see, the Giants are much further away than just a Jose Ramirez.
That's why I was saying with only $14 million a year he makes because of the discount. That's why I thought the trade was, you know, I would do it because you're only paying him 14. You could still get another player. When you get Tatis, you're not going to be able to get another player. You know, you're there. But Dan, I don't even know why we're even talking about this because as the chat knows, spring training means so much. The Cubs are 6-0-1. Of course, they had a big tie today against the Giants. So I don't even know why they're going to play the 162-game season. I mean, the Cubs obviously are the best team in the National League.
Yeah,
they're better than the Dodgers, everything. You know, 6-0-1, it's over with.
Yeah, what are the Dodgers this year? Aren't they? Have they won any? I haven't even been paying attention to what the Dodgers are doing. Let's take a look at what the Dodgers are doing right now. The Dodgers are,
I think, 2-5.
Oh my gosh, they're 2-5. They are not that good. They are so overrated. The Cubs are going to win it all. Look at the Rockies, 5-1. Everybody, this is what you need to look at right there. The Colorado Rockies and the Chicago Cubs, National League Championship Series will be right there. There it is.
And the Dodgers, God, I mean, what has gotten into them? 2-5. Again, guys, the Giants are 2-0, and all you guys are talking about how great it is, Giants 2-0. Spring training means nothing. You got to remember one thing, and Dan points this out. Some pitchers are ahead of the batters, but 90% the batters are ahead of the pitchers because the pitchers are working on certain things. You know, everyone can make a fastball, but they might be working on their slider. They might be working on a new pitch. They might be working on their changeup. You know, and they're going to throw it during spring training because they have 4 or 5 weeks to get ready for it. You know, when you have a changeup, you got to work on it. You don't care in spring training if you give up 3 straight homers, as long as the changeup's working for the regular season. And I think, you know, a lot of times people, when you go to spring training, it's to relax, enjoy, and watch a little ball. You don't take it seriously, you know, but I think too many people get so worried. Oh my God, you know, Giants are great. We've won 4 in a row in spring training. It depends who they're playing against. You know, I mean, today, nobody's talking. Everyone talks about Eldridge. How about Casey Schmidt hit another homer today? But nobody talks about it. You know, well, you know, it's spring training. Yeah, okay. But if it's Eldridge, we overhype it. He hit a homer. But Casey Schmidt's hit 2 homers in spring training. You know, we love Casey Schmidt here, guys. I love it when I see that he has a huge, huge game. Why? Because he's making steps to hopefully being on the team, hopefully being our second baseman. And, you know, when Dan asks him to come on the show, he will, because we're going to support him regardless of where he's at.
That's right. That's right. No, I like to see Casey get as many shots. You know, I mean, he's not hitting for average right now. He's got only a couple of hits, but team's been doing what they do the last several years, and they're still striking out a ton. I think today they struck out another 12 or 14 times, whatever it was. They're just striking out way too much. We'll see how things go. Ramos is going to be probably out for at least another week. My guess is I would hold him out for 2 weeks, make sure you don't want to deal with an oblique all year long. Yaz, I still don't understand why he's on this team.
What about your buddy still on the team? David Villar.
David VR, he's not going to make it. He's out of options too. So he's probably going to get released and then re-signed by the Giants. I don't think anybody picks him up.
Yeah, and Flores is having a good spring, batting 143. He's back.
Unless there's a team, a team that might be good for VR. Think about this. Think about this, guys. How about the Sac A's? VR's hits well in Sacramento. I mean, he's been playing down there for how many years?
I think, 18? It seems like he's been there forever.
I mean, I think he's been there for like 3 years.
Yeah,
but
it just seems like 18 because he's been there forever. It
yeah,
seems like.
I mean, he's hit a lot of bombs in that stadium.
Yeah.
Why not? If you're the A's, take a shot at him. He could play third. He could play first. He could DH. He could play a little second if you have to. I wouldn't, if I'm the A's, take a flyer on him. You can always cut him. I mean, it doesn't cost anything, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with you, Kyle. I thought it was dumb to sign Chapman. I was not that I have anything against Chapman. I just don't think Chapman's the answer for a team that needs a lot more. And I think Casey is comparable to Chapman defensively. He's not there yet, but he's potentially as good. I mean, that's what the write-ups all said about him. Read the scouting report when the Giants drafted him. He's like compared to Matt Chapman as his glove and his quickness and his soft hands and all that. And then his bat, I think if you look at his minor league numbers, they, except for the power numbers, they're better than Chapman's. But, it's like beating a dead horse. The Giants love Matt Chapman. He's like their, he's their billboard. He's their billboard child. They promote Chapman more than they would promote a 24-year-old homegrown Elliot Ramos. I don't know why you're not promoting. Like, to me, if I'm the San Francisco Giants, I am I'm just building around Ramos and
the youth.
And Eldridge. And Ramos, Eldridge, give me let me see what Matos can do. Can he make it or not? I'm pretty sure Grant McCray is a guy that's going to struggle to make contact. He's already striking out a lot in spring training. I think he's like 9 at bats, 7 strikeouts or something. I mean, this is a guy that struck out over 40% of the time last year. Look, I love Grant McCray's game. His athleticism is off the charts. He's going to need time to develop and learn to make contact. He's definitely got to learn to make contact. You can't be striking out over 50% of the time. That's just not going to cut it. You really, unless you're hitting, I mean, I can live with 30% K rate if the guy's hitting 35 bombs. Okay. But if you're going to strike out 40-something% of the time and you're not going to do much else, hit occasional home run, there's no way.
Hey, Dan, I was, when you were talking, I was thinking, do you think that's the Giants' biggest problem is, really if you take Webb out, being a homegrown, growing up, you used to fall in love with the rookies, having a tough time. But once they developed, they became a star. Those are the people you supported. And, even though guys like Johnny LeMaster, Robbie Thompson, when they came up, Will Clark, except for maybe Kevin Mitchell that came from a trade, and Atley, these guys that came up, that's what made the franchises, the big red machine, the Dodgers, because the Giants have been suffering, since they've been living out the 3 world championships. We really have had nobody, You know, the only players that have actually been really successful were all from trades, right? But if we could just get one guy, because probably since Buster and, you know, Will are the two main guys, we haven't had any guy that's really come through the system that we can really jump on their back, you know, and be proud of them. You know, as I always say, you know, if he were to make the All-Star game, you know, I'm not a big fan of the All-Star game, but when a Giant's up, I want him to succeed. You know, even though I remember when, like, you know, Brenly was the only Giants rep and he struck out twice, at least he made it. You know, it made me watch the game. But, you know, I sort of miss it, you know, and I hope Eldridge is successful, you know, because we need it. The Giants need anything to make everything more successful. Oh, yeah, here we go.
What do you think of those stats? What do you think of those strike stats? 695 strikeouts in 4 seasons. Hold on, let me do a little calculation here.
And guys, you got to remember,
174 a year.
Yep.
Wow.
Chapman only played for the Giants 1 year, but it seems like he's been here like 3 or 4 years. 1 year. That was it. And it was a contract year. And we loved him so much, we rewarded him. You know, that's not great. You know, I remember when me and Dan growing up, if you had a player that batted 247, 240, 229, 210, he was gone. Didn't matter. You know, it's just these guys these days, they just can't hit. Now, I know the pitching might be better, but it's gotten sort of out of control. You know, I mean, when you think of like our shortstops, Lamaster, Uribe, you know, these guys at least hit like 250. You know, that was sort of the borderline. You know, and this guy's being rewarded 6 years, 150 something million. Wow. And guys, Dan never said that the Chapman signing was bad. He just didn't like the length of the deal. You know, if it would have been 4 years, 100 million, Dan would have no problem with it. But when you're giving him 6, you know, that's a lot. And you just see the guy's last 4 years have not deserved 6. That's all we're saying.
I don't think unless the Giants really fill in around him, you know, I could see a plan where things work out for the Giants if Eldridge makes it up for 26 and he, you know, is ready and he pops 30 homers and Chapman plays stellar defense and still has some home run, some power production, and Adames and Ramos, and, you know, Lee's doing well, and you find somebody out in right field, Fitzgerald handles things. You know, I could see a world where the Giants, things could work out. I think Eldridge is going to be the key. But the thing that bothered me with Chapman, I actually was a little bothered when they signed him originally last year late, because I just didn't think he was the answer for this team. And, you know, they were under 500 with him. Okay. They were an under 500 team with him. And he did what he always does. He strikes out 170 plus times a year. He strikes out in key situations. He doesn't move runners with runners in scoring position. That's why his RBI total is low, even though he's batting right in the heart of the order. He doesn't capitalize and drive in runs. Most of Chapman's runs, he will come up with the occasional big hit, and you know, it happens, and he drives in runs and he hits a home run occasionally when you need it. But I would bet, just based on all the games I watched last year, I would say the majority of Chapman's home runs were either the team was either way up or they're way behind, and they didn't really make a difference in the outcome of the game. He had a few games where he was key and he, you know, was the difference maker offensively. And there's nothing but great things you could say about him defensively. He's absolutely stellar defensive player. There's nothing you can say bad about his defense. You really can't say anything bad about his base running or his leadership or the fact that he's available and he plays. My biggest problem with Matt Chapman is that he's really a lower end of the order, 6-7 guy. He's not a 4-5 guy. And the Giants think of him that
3,
way.
4, 5, yeah, because we have
And
nobody else.
Yes, and that's the problem. And that's why I would go after guys like, if you're going to be using Eldridge and he's going to be in there, maybe you look at a guy like a Santander that has power. But the problem is with the Giants is you got these power guys and you're bringing them to your ballpark and if they're powers from the left side and they're not, monstrous type home run hitters, they're just guys. They're not. A lot of those home runs are going to die in right center. And then you've also got that stupid qualifying offer for a lot of these guys. And the Giants are in a really bad situation right now. They've got to be able to draft and develop. And, I don't think free agency is the answer to build a team. And if you look at the way this team is constructed right now, the left side of the infield, the two most important players are free agencies, guys. Okay. Your outfield is a third of its free agency. So Jung-Hoo Lee and Chapman and Adames, free agents. So you got a catcher that's homegrown. Your first base is like flip a coin. Who is it? Second base is Fitzgerald or Schmidt. Left field is Ramos. Right field is, if I see Yaz the first week of the season and they face 5 lefties out of 6 games and he's in there 5 times, I'm going to blow a gasket. I'm just going to say, you know what? You deserve 4th place. You deserve 4th place.
Yeah. And Dan, I think you brought up a great thing, and you might not have known you said it. The timing of signing Chapman was such a big key because there were other third basemen available cheaper than Chapman that signed for 3-4 years that would have made the Giants better offensively. There was probably 3 or 4. I think a Bergman, I would rather have because I think he's a solid player. But they were, instead of 26 million, these guys signed for 20 million, 22, 19, 4-year deal, 2-year deal. It's just the timing of it, where it was at the end of the season. Then, of course, like a complete jackass, he said, guys, I'm talking to people. I'm going to bring them. He didn't bring anybody, and that's the other thing about the Giants. So many of the people that work for the Giants, they all talk a big game, right? They got Adames, but they fail on so many more. And that's the one thing about Eldridge I'm a little bit worried about, because we've heard everything about how great he is. Dan was nice enough to show an awesome tape the other day. He goes, I feel more comfortable in the outfield, but we're putting him at first. Okay, to me, that's a sign. Second of all, he needs to work on his defense. Because he has such a great arm. It's a lot different first base. There's so much pressure on there. It's just, there's just a lot of question marks for a team that already has a lot of question marks.
Right. I would agree with this with Kyle. I think Casey would be about a 255 guy, maybe even 260. He's got a 280 lifetime batting average in the minors. And, Chapman had a 241 lifetime batting average in the minors, and he's hitting 240 in the majors, or one. It's flipped one way or the other. They're within a point. So Matt Chapman has hit precisely his batting average of around 240 consistently, wherever he is. So that's who he is. He's not going to all of a sudden hit 265. Okay. He's had one productive year where he hit pretty well, but this is a team with Chapman. And I'm telling you guys, Adames is not having the type of year he had last year. No way.
And Dan, tell them the 2 reasons why. Because one might be obvious, the other one might not be as obvious. And that's what makes NorCal Sports Network different. Because Dan pulls these things up that nobody else talks about. Dan, tell them the 2. I'll tell them one, and then you tell them the other.
Go ahead.
One was he was a free agent, just like Chapman. So you got to do whatever it takes to be productive, because you got to get paid. And a lot of these guys, this is their last big contract. So a contract year, guys always do it. And then once they get paid, they sort of take a level down. But Dan's going to tell you why he's not going to have as good a year this year as he did last year, which is a huge key, which I was unaware of until Dan brought this up. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah. I wish I could find the article that I read about a week ago, but it was alarming to see what they said about Willy Adames. And what it was is Willy Adames had the most 3-run homers of any player in like 20 plus years.
26 years. 26.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is he came up with runners in scoring position, like second and third with more so than any player in like
League. Yeah.
in so many amount of crazy years. And so now he's going to be with the Giants, and the law of averages just catch up to you. I mean, if you look at Willy Adames, let's take a look just at his actual numbers prior to last year.
Or just take last year's stats away.
Okay, so if I pull up his Baseball Reference, he had 98 RBIs in 22 with Milwaukee, pretty good. But the next closest after that is 80 in 23. I think he's probably going to be around an 85 to 90 RBI guy with the Giants, and I think he leads the Giants in RBIs.
Yep. I agree. And you got to remember, Milwaukee's a good hitting ballpark. It's actually probably one of the top 3 in the National League, behind like Cincinnati, Philly. That ball flies out of there. So I think, Dan, that might be the biggest point of the year you're bringing up, because if people say, oh, Adames is a horrible signing, you just bring up that stat. He hasn't done it back years. And now, after a big contract, you have the pressure.
Right.
I
wish I could find the article, because the stat is really something. It made me, let me see if I can find
I was unaware of that until you brought it up. And that's a great point.
Where did I see it? Did anybody see it? It was out about a week ago. Let me see. Hold on. I will do something different here. I'm going to plug in something else here and see if I can. Hold on here. Go ahead, Luke. You got anything to say?
No, I just think, it's a great thing. I mean, I think you guys got to remember, when you have your last year of your contract and your middle-aged player between 28, 29, this is it. This is something these guys do whatever it takes to have a great year, and then they have good people behind them and they get rewarded. That's the biggest problem, where these guys sign for big money. They go to a new ballpark, new fans, new everything, and they let down because they're guaranteed. These guys guaranteed for 5 years. It's horrible, but that's just baseball. Even though players have a great year, you're never guaranteed, and that's the one thing I'm worried about the Giants. Eldridge, the hype's been phenomenal. I'm worried about Webb. I've said this a few times. He just became a new dad. So baseball's not his number one priority. His family is. And his son just turned 5 months. So anyone being a first-time dad, that first year, it's rough because you're unprepared for it. He goes to the Giants. He comes back. He probably gets his wife's all over him. Oh, my God, you don't have enough help. You forgot about us, And the other thing, too, more importantly about Webb, is this is going to be the 3rd year after pitching 208 innings and 205. He's still young, yes, but, the shoulder is not built to throw that many innings just because, it's not like it was, where players used to throw 250, 300 innings. Now, we pamper them so much. And, the other thing too is with Webb, I know he loves being a Giant, but you know what? He also wants to win. You can't always be on a team where when you pitch, the team doesn't win for you and you're on a team down on the bottom. It's one of those things.
Yeah, Chardal. We'll have to have Chardal come on in here. That would be fun. Is Eric's birthday today?
I don't know. I thought it was last Sunday. Didn't we wish him happy birthday on the
I can't
show?
remember. I know it was his anniversary last night.
Yeah.
It is his birthday. Okay. All right. You know what we got to do here? I'm going to pull this article up. This is interesting, guys. This is an article from why the Brewers, written at the end of last year, why the Brewers should not chase Willy Adames in free agency, right as free agency opened. Listen to this. This is kind of, it's been an unqualified success, his time in Milwaukee, but market value is the best shortstop hitting free agent this season, which allows a lot of leverage in negotiations. It was a great year for him to be a free agent because there was nobody
else.
Kim was nobody.
And Kim was, and he was also not injured. I think there were 3 guys and they were all injured.
Yeah. Listen to the warning signs here. Now the Giants have them. Unfortunately, of late, big shortstop deals haven't quite gone to plan. From Carlos Correa, Xander Bogaerts, and Dansby Swanson to the quite shocking drop-off of Javi Baez, they haven't tended to age well. Injuries have played some part with Bogaerts and Correa, while the bats haven't really come to life for Swanson and Baez. The sad truth is that as players age, their reaction times slow down, meaning they need to swing earlier and therefore make swing decisions earlier. Some of this can be made up for with experience, but it will often bring about a decline in the ball strike recognition. Such recognition isn't a strength of Adames, despite his improved walk rate last year. And then we look here at average bat speed. It's 73.6. He has squared up. Let's see. He's got a blast. Okay, so this swing length is 8.1. which is the 5th longest in baseball, meaning his decision-making process is already happening a bit earlier than most other hitters. He also doesn't shorten his swing with 2 strikes, and despite better overall swing decisions this year, it's a ticking time bomb for him. Eventually and potentially within the next 2 seasons, Adames may become a strikeout machine who struggles to make enough contact to access his home run power with extreme chase rates. He won't be as aggressive as Baez, but it probably won't be pretty. Then there are defensive struggles that popped. Okay, let's forget.
Who wrote this? Me?
In nearly every conceivable defensive metric, Adames fell off a cliff in 2024. Let's see. So why shouldn't the Brewers go big for their shortstop? I would happily agree to a contract of 6 years and $150 million for the production Adames has given the Brewers since his arrival. Combining the incredible defensive performance for a strong floor while adding thump in big moments with the bat is a rare combination from such a premium position. The problem is it's very unlikely that either the bat or the defense will hold up even past 2 years into his contract. Wow. Adames will likely be a solid enough defender at third and toward, oh boy, but we've got third locked up for 6 years, so you can't even move him to third. I love Adames. I love what he's brought to Milwaukee, but it would be folly to expect the same level of production over the next 6 seasons as the Brewers have gotten in their first 4. The defense is dropping off. The bat will likely follow soon. If he were forced to settle for a 4-year, $100 million contract, it may become more feasible, but unfortunately, I can't see the market trending that way. The Brewers got the best years out of Adames. Now it's time to let him go before those prized memories turn sour. Well, that's one man's opinion. I do think that based on the stats that he's got a very long swing. Chardal, you ready to come in here? Chardal's here. Okay. Let's get Chardal in here.
He's singing for Eric, but isn't he doing his show?
He is, but we can get it on here.
Okay. I didn't know. Would he know that we're singing?
He could watch it later. Sure.
All right.
Invite guest. copy and paste a Rooney. Here you go, Chardal. I am sending out the link. Come in, Chardal, before we end the show, which will be very shortly. So we'll wait on Chardal to come in. And this is a gift to Eric. And Mark Gray says he'll be right back. Okay, so calling Flydall to come in here and sing happy birthday to Eric Romo. Do we have any birthday music that we can pull up? Let's see if we can.
The circus.
Hold on here. Let me see if I can get. What do I want? I want, what's it called? Royalty free music. I want. Come on, give me royalty free music. Let me see where I could find. Probably should just go to the YouTube store. All right, here we go. Let's see. Happy. Let's see. Do we have anything? Hold on, I got to listen to this. There we go. Oh, license this track. Let me see. Hold on here. Welcome to Premium Beat. Oh, come on. This isn't working for me. All right. It's not working for me. Where are you, Aaron? Flight All, come on in. Come on in.
Start the clock.
Come on. Hurry up, Chardal. Come on in. I see you out there. 9:48. You made a comment. It's 9:50. What? Let me go check on Eric, see what's going on over there, what they got going, and see if.
And then Dan, so you're going to see the game tomorrow against Seattle?
I am. Yes.
Nice. And are you going to the Saturday game against the Dodgers?
Here he is. I am not going right now at Saturday because tickets are sold out. I'm not paying $200 to $300 for a spring training game. All right. Okay, here we go. Welcome on in, Chardal, to NorCal Sports Network. And have you downloaded Better on your phone yet? And
I haven't downloaded it. I'm gonna download it.
Put in the code NCSN, man.
Easy money.
Easy money, man. Easy money. Okay, so what are we doing here, Chardal? Are we going to sing happy
I'm
birthday?
gonna be singing a happy birthday to Eric.
Okay, do we need music, or are you just going to do it a cappella?
A cappella.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready. You need me to give you a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2, 3, go. You ready?
I'm ready. I don't need a 1, 2, 3 count.
All right, let her rip.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you.
Very good, Chardal. Very good. Do you have any other music that you can sing us out of this show here? Do you have
I don't have any music to sing us out with. I was just coming in to sing Eric a happy birthday.
Okay.
That's very
and
nice.
I have a question. Should the Giants, is Eldridge untradeable? You being a huge Giants fan, is Eldridge tradable? Would you trade him if you could get another superstar, or what would you do? You're the GM. You taking Buster's position.
I would not trade Eldridge because I think Eldridge we need Eldridge.
But he's not on our team right now. What do you mean we need him? For what? Oh, there he is. There's the man.
Oh,
Eric,
What the hell's going on here?
let me sing you happy birthday again because you're here.
What's going on, man?
Everyone's
doing,
thinking of you on
Shadow?
your birthday. He wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah.
go
Happy
ahead, Chardall,
birthday
but
to
louder,
you.
louder. Crank it, crank
Happy
it.
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you.
All right, thanks, Shadow. All right, I had to come in here real quick.
Big
Where'd you
38. You looking good, my man.
Yeah,
Big
about that.
38.
I'm a big fan of you,
38.
Eric. Eric, I'm a big fan of
52. I hit
you.
52. All right.
Eric, I'm a big fan of you.
All right, Shadow. Thanks, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Dan, Lou,
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
guys.
Great one, buddy. Have a great
Happy
night.
guys.
birthday.
Hey,
enjoy
wait,
your
wait a
enjoy
minute.
your birthday.
It was your
See you Sunday night.
anniversary last night.
yesterday and my birthday today. Yep.
Hey, double jeopardy. Hey, man.
Yeah,
that's
how
pretty
about
good.
that? Not too bad. Not too bad.
Back to back,
Yep.
you're on a hitting streak, I bet.
I know. There you go. Yeah, buddy. All right, guys. Have a good one,
Swinging
man.
the bat. Way to go.
Have a good rest of your show, guys.
You too, Eric.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
That's great.
Dan, I'm gonna be doing play-by-play for the Warriors and Magic game tomorrow. So do you want to tune into my listen to my play-by-play?
Oh, wow. Should I do it on an empty stomach? I probably should, huh?
I'm doing it tomorrow. Do you want to listen?
You're doing live play-by-play during the
For
game
during the game play-by-play
on your channel?
on my channel. I'm live streaming it.
Ooh, I might have to listen to that. You know what I'll do is I'll watch the game and then listen to your play-by-play.
It's gonna be live.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm gonna, and then I can watch it and I can see how it's going.
Lou, do you want to listen to me do play-by-play tomorrow?
I might have to. I know the game starts at 4, so I work until 5, so it'd probably be like the second quarter. Some of us actually have a job, where we have to work for a certain thing. But yeah, I'll come by, maybe check out your second quarter, see how you're doing. That's a tough job. Are you by yourself or do you have a
I'm
side
a
guy?
solo.
Oof, that's tough.
Wow.
Are
All
you
right.
are you a homer like the Warriors guys that complain about everything, or are you more just do the job so everybody can relate?
More jobs, everybody can relate.
All right, that's what we like to hear. All right, yeah.
Hey,
I'll have to
Chardall,
listen to it.
we're gonna let you go, man.
Hey,
Thanks for coming in.
thanks for having me on. Make sure to tune into my play-by-play tomorrow.
Yep. good
I'm
luck.
gonna be trying to sound like Bob Fitzgerald or Tim Roy.
Okay.
Tim Roy.
Okay,
I
there
like
you
Tim
go.
Roy.
Yeah,
All
I'm gonna
right.
sound like Tim Roy tomorrow, man. You don't want to miss it.
Awesome. Hey, man, good to see you, Chardall. Thanks for coming
to
in and
see you.
singing. Have a great night. Have fun tomorrow night.
Nice to see you, Lou. Thanks for having. I wish I have a good stream tomorrow.
All right, you take care. You will. See
See
you,
you.
Chardall. All right, Chardall, the great Chardall from
Hey, play is tough,
yeah.
especially if you're solo.
Oh man, that's gonna be something. Yeah. Well, Lou, I think we've kicked it enough for
Yeah,
tonight.
no, it was a good topic today, and I think your trade scenarios are really good. And I think this is what I know we bust Buster's chops, but this is what he does daily. With guys. Hey, what do you think? How can we improve the team? What do you think? No, we're going to do this with this. So it's fun.
It's you're coming up with what Aaron says. Everyone should ask
Play
Chardall for the link incessantly on his show tomorrow. Yeah, give us. Oh gosh, I gotta say that these topics that we come up with, we're digging deep, looking for something to talk about the Giants. Okay,
The good news is 1 month away, March 27th is the opener.
Yeah, and then the Giants will give us the content. We won't even have to create it. They'll give us the folly. They'll give it to us.
Like I said, until March 1st, dude, it's brutal. And it sucks when you start a new season and you have games on the road, and they're very unique spots. Cincinnati, the ball flies out. So hopefully the Giants can stay, have good pitching and do that. And then they go in an Astrodome. I mean, they play in Houston and another ball that flies by. So it's.
I think if the Giants pitching holds up. By the way, Jordan Hicks, 1 1/3 inning, 3 strikeouts today. So he did his job. Sean Jelly, 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, but 3 strikeouts. So he gave up a couple of hits, but struck out the side. I think the pitching could be a strength. I'm going to hold judgment until the 26th of March before we do our prediction show. I want to see how this team's lining up. I want to see how many injuries they have in camp.
March 26th is the big show, because I know on the 27th, March Madness starts again, especially at Chase. Hopefully my Arizona Wildcats are there. But yeah, I like that Wednesday, March 26th.
Well, the 27th is the season opener.
Yep.
And they're in Cincinnati, and we're going to be watching it at it's going to start
like 9 o'clock locally. 9:40. They're usually the first. They're the first game usually.
Yeah, it's a 1:10 game
Eastern. Okay,
so
10,
we will watch it. I don't know if it's 12:10. When is daylight savings time?
March 7th, sir.
Okay, so March 7th. So we're on the same time. I don't have to play around and guess. All right, so it'll be a 1:10 game on Thursday, a 1:10 game on Saturday,
they take
and then
Friday
a 10:40 on Sunday morning, and then they got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Houston. So it's
tough.
If they can split the season, the road trip and go 3-3, that would be a plus.
Yep,
that'd be a plus. But guys, thanks for being part of the show.
Thank you, guys. Good topic. Sorry, it's not like we can't talk candy every night.
Hey, if you missed last night's candy show, it was about 30 minutes Warriors and another hour and 15 minutes on candy. I mean, we've got a tournament coming with March Madness. We're going to do a candy tournament. I mean, we're going to, the number 1 seed. We need a selection committee, though. We need a selection committee. We do need at least, we got Lou and I, and we need at least 3 more. We need a selection committee of 5. That's why where there's a tie, we won't have any ties. There'll be a 5th person to be a tiebreaker. Who gets the number 1 seed? I mean, Reese's, huh? Come on.
Reese's, Nestle Crunch. You're a big Snickers guy. Milky Ways. I mean, they're all solid.
I like the 100 grand bar as a 3 seed.
Yeah, I love 100 grand. Whatchamacallit. I love that little, like the Rice Crisp stuff with chocolate. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But hey, guys, our fantasy baseball league, we've got to figure it out. Who wants to join NorCal Sports Network Fantasy Baseball League? I'm looking at an entry fee of $200. I want to make it worthwhile for the winner. The second place guy should be able to get double or triple his money. Get 600. 600. We'll go 1,600, 600, and 200.
200 for third or dead last?
Yeah, third.
It's hard to finish last. All right.
Yeah. Dead last. We should.
You got to pay. You got to pay an additional 200 if you finish dead last.
Yeah, or something, man. But yeah, $300 entry fee says entry point. That would be good. $250.
And then Dan, tomorrow are we doing 2 shows or just the post game?
I think we'll just do. I think it's just 1 tomorrow, and that post game show should start about 6:30. A little early, huh? I don't know. Maybe we'll combine it.
Maybe meet in the middle.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a little Warriors, a little Giants, a little candy. Yeah,
there you go.
Maybe an ice cream show. Favorite ice cream flavors.
And there's so many flavors, and I mean, people love and you know what? When we talk about ice cream, I don't understand the difference. To me, French vanilla, they all taste the same, and none of this organic crap. like we have that place out here, Sutton Straw, whatever, and everything's organic. Give me a break. Ice cream is not organic. It's all the same. You know, it just depends how it's made.
Nut. I like some pistachio. You know what? The best ice cream, one of the best ice creams I love is going to the spaghetti factory in the Spumoni. Yeah,
Spumoni's pretty solid.
Spumoni's very, very solid at and I think I know where they get it. I remember asking them. I think it's Fairview or Fair Gold ice cream or something like that. You might be able to order that. Yeah. Yogurt shake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little hungry right now. You know what? It might be burger time right now. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock here. Jeez. All right. Time to get out of here.
Yep.
Let's find the music.
Yogurt Shack's still with us, guys.
Yeah,
don't worry
Yogurt
about
Shack.
it. We're just
Check 'em
waiting
out.
because it's the winter. Once the summer comes, we're all over it.
Oh yeah, you got to get to Yogurt Shack in the winter, baby. I mean, in the summer. It's packed. It's packed.
And yes, Anthony, Swenson's is still on Greenwich, right off Greenwich and Union Street, up on the corner. It's been there, I think, since 1952.
What do we got here? We got a chicken clucking. What's this sound? I think that's somebody who's chicken about, I don't know. I can't remember what I put that one in there for. But we've got all kinds of things in here. All right, let's close it out with our regular. And we got some lead float. What's this? This looks like it may be leftover from Eric. I bet you this sounds like Eric. You like that? Eric's birthday. We'll play a little Eric music. Signing off.